It's still real to me, damn it!
Pause that game. It's time for more Nerd Radio.
I don't want to see it,
That's right, Nerd Radio back wherever you get your podcast as part of the BPod Studios Network, on social media at Nerd Radio 101. And Al, where can people find us online?
NerdRadio101.com.
That's right. And of course, you can find us recording the show Wednesday afternoons over on Twitch. James, where's that?
It's at twitch.tv/checkpointxp.
Gold star for both of you.
Yeah.
Right on top of those audio cues.
Good. I'm glad you didn't catch it. I almost stumbled.
No, not at all.
Because usually you mentioned the Checkpoint XP Studios, and I was like,
Yeah.
The Checkpoint Studio. No, just read the URL, James.
Meanwhile, I went through the debate in my head in that second of do I mention all
the
stations?
websites or do I no?
You know, do I mention that URL that I paid for?
Right.
But I also regret my decision because I do feel like at least once a show we should give a shout out to the 3 radio stations that are hosting the
That's what I was kind of aiming for, but I'm not, I'm not
so
cracking the
we'll
whip.
run through them real quick. Of course, the Riff in Detroit, Rock 92.9 in Boston, and 96K Rock in Fort Myers, Florida.
Absolutely. And we appreciate you guys for listening, no matter how you're getting your Nerd Radio. You can, of course, find us on your social media, like I said, at Nerd Radio 101. Reach out and say hey, because we love interacting with you guys. All right, so I talked to you guys about The Boys. I know that neither of you have gotten to it yet, but
I've seen one episode.
Okay.
You're one up on me then.
I finished Umbrella Academy. And
Yeah.
I've seen one episode of The Boys.
Well, episode 5 was last Friday, and James, you are going to love it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ooh.
I don't know. I don't know how much of it I really want to spoil, but you know what? I'm not going to say anything.
Okay.
But I think I'll know when you get there.
Okay.
I think you'll be like, "Did you see?"
Well, I'm hoping to get there by this weekend, but
Yeah.
I don't know. I have to do my viewing, the things that I know is only going to appeal to me in my household.
Sure.
I have to do it like early hours of the morning. So
Yes.
I work, for those who don't know, I work on Dave and Chuck the Freak. So I'm up early during the week. So my weekends, I'm usually up pretty early too. My body's just accustomed to waking up at
Yeah, me too.
6 o'clock rolls around and I'm like wide awake in
Yeah.
bed. But like nobody else in the house is going to be awake. My
Right.
fiance's asleep until like 10 o'clock.
Oh, if you sleep till 6 or 7, it's a major sleep.
Yeah, like that's a huge amount of sleep I've got. So
Yeah.
I'll then get up and I'll go watch all the shows that I know my fiance doesn't give 2 pieces of dog crap about.
Right.
So I'm hoping I'll be able to get to episode 5 by this Sunday morning. We'll see.
Okay. Excellent. Because I'm real interested to hear what you think about it. Same with you, Al. Once you finally get around to seeing it, I'm real curious because you've read the comics like I have.
Mm-hmm.
So there's stuff in there that you're like, oh, cool, that's right from the books, and there's other stuff is like that's absolutely not from the books, but I almost like it more.
Yeah. Or my experience, I remember that I read the series, but I don't remember anything that happens.
Right. So yeah, you won't remember anything. But one of the streaming services that I'm a big fan of, AMC's network Shudder, topped 1 million subscribers a couple
I didn't
weeks
know
ago.
that was an AMC property.
Yes,
Like
AMC.
you've talked about Shudder. I know what Shudder is. I did not realize it was AMC.
Yep, Shudder is their streaming service for horror, thriller, and supernatural stuff. The way I found out it was AMC is owned by AMC is because AMC a couple of years ago did a history of comic books series on AMC with Robert Kirkman from The Walking Dead as the head of it. It's all on Shudder. You can watch the whole series on Shudder. And I was like, oh, this is neat.
I think they used to run commercials for Shudder on AMC. Always does like a Halloween movie thing all through the year, and I think they always were pushing Shudder. Some of those movies I was watching.
But something that we've completely glossed over, except for James, who actually did a reaction video on his YouTube, which you can find at Who the F is JC, right?
Yeah, you can find it at whothefisjc.com or youtube.com/whothefisjc.
Is The Mandalorian coming back in October? And how pumped are you, especially after getting to do that react video for the trailer? How pumped are you for this next season?
I am excited. I can't wait to see what's going to be in store. Bringing in the Jedi, or as they call them, was it
wizards,
space sorcerers, or whatever?
Yeah,
whatever they refer to them as in the series, which is so weird to hear them called that. You know? Because you're like, no, it's Jedi. Man.
You would think everybody in the universe calls them Jedi, but they don't.
Yeah. I think Sasha Banks is going to be involved.
She's supposed to.
I didn't catch her in the trailer,
a Jedi.
But looks like she's going to be in there. They're on some ice planet that somebody's saying there's going to be like a possible Jedi temple there, and all this crazy stuff. Baby Yoda knows how to use blast shields. Yeah, there's a point in the trailer where you see Baby Yoda hit some blast shields.
He realizes that stuff is about to go down, so he punches a button on the front, and the blast shields go up.
Yeah, it's
so he's still a baby at this point.
Yes,
absolutely.
I think he's gonna be a baby. I don't think we'll ever see him fully grown until they're like, okay, we're done with the Mandalorian. Oh, look who it is. It's Yoda's cousin, Boda. You know?
Yeah. What if he gets a growth spurt and he's the size of a Wookiee?
That'd be wow.
Yeah.
That's
Teenage
crazy.
Yoda is just like really tall.
I hope he gets like real angsty too.
Gangly.
Like a teen,
Yeah.
You know, like he uses this force just to like do punk teenager stuff.
Right.
You know, like make frogs.
That is
cook frogs and
what if Yoda was just like a little Yoda? Like
If he's
actual
just kind of
Yoda
a
was
shrimp,
just like
and Yoda, you know,
and they
his
really
race
are like giant
actually supposed to be like 6 feet tall.
creatures. I do feel like
You
too
can
that
tell how big a Yoda is going to be by how big their ears are when they're born.
right.
that'd be interesting.
It would be interesting. I'll bet you anything though that little baby Yoda was supposed to grow up faster than it's going to.
Oh,
After because
sure.
I'm sure they thought like this thing's going to be cute and people will like it, but they could not have anticipated just how popular Baby Yoda became.
I'm just waiting to see what they're putting out this Christmas season for Baby Yoda because I'm probably gonna buy it all.
Yeah.
I thought I saw something. They're making one that you can actually put on your shoulder.
Oh, like a little parrot.
Yep.
Yeah, very nice.
Shoulder Yoda.
Yeah, I have not watched the trailer for Mandalorian though, but I'm looking forward to it. I'm definitely excited for
And
it.
if you decide you want to break your ban, they don't spoil much of anything. That I feel like they show you some scenery.
It's kind of one of those trailers. It's just a lot of cool scenes.
Yeah.
You know what though?
It creates more curiosity than it does anything.
I think the only exception I will make to my rule, though, like you did a reaction video, and I could see. I don't have a YouTube channel. I have a Twitch, so I can talk in our little chat thing here when we record. But I broke my my rule. I can't remember which Avengers we watched together. I don't know if it was Endgame or if it was Infinity War. It was one or the other. But you and I watched.
It had to have been Endgame, because I was making jokes about Thanos is walking through a field of marijuana plants.
Yeah.
At the beginning of the
Well,
trailer.
like we did a reaction video together, and that's like the only exception I'll make to break my rule.
Yeah.
Or like if it's something that comes up, like we're on the morning show.
Yeah.
And something comes up, and I'm like, well, all right, well, it's in
Yeah,
front
you're
of
not
my
gonna be like,
face,
no,
but-
I can't look.
Yeah.
Yeah, like here's the thing: if Dave Hunter's like, "Hey, we're gonna watch this trailer on the show," and you have an opportunity to be on a nationally syndicated morning radio program, you're gonna watch the trailer. You're not gonna be like, "I'm sorry, but that violates my trailer rules."
Yes.
I'm not watching.
Al is a man of scruples, and he will not.
I mean, we are talking. You
Al
are
Beck
talking.
does not sell out.
You are talking to somebody who looked at the floor and plugged their ears because Star Wars trailer came up, and I wasn't ready to see in a movie theater.
Right.
That was when I and
forgot about that.
Yeah, do you remember that was the one when I went to
Were you
see
there
Avengers
with Chuck and his son, or was that a different
No,
one? Was
that
with
was
me?
when I followed the
Oh.
family in and sat right next to him in the assigned seats.
Oh, that's right. You were
Yes,
even
the man and
crazier.
his teenage daughters made me look like a super creep. And then, like, I sit down right beside them, and then a Star Wars trailer starts. I'm like, can't watch it. I made a rule.
That's when the dad's
terrible.
like, okay, girls, we're gonna move into the road right in front of
Yeah,
us.
I don't
Yeah.
care if these
From the
seats are
creepy
assigned
guy.
or not. We are moving.
Yeah. Oh my God. It was terrible.
Well, another thing we look forward to on Disney Plus that dropped this weekend is WandaVision. They gave us our first trailer of that.
I did not watch that. I'm
looks-
confused about what the heck WandaVision is. So please tell me more, Chuck.
Well, it's going to be the Scarlet Witch and the Vision, who are kind of in a relationship,
Oh.
which you saw in the movies. But Vision obviously
They're like
died
a superhero power couple.
in Infinity War, and from what we can see in this,
Oh, spoiler alert! If you haven't seen Infinity War.
if you haven't seen Infinity War, so spoiler alert. In this, Vision is back alive again, and him and Wanda are living in what looks like a 1950s sitcom.
Okay.
But things aren't all like okay, which makes you think that it might be Scarlet Witch's powers to influence reality kind of going nuts,
Okay.
which she has done in the comics.
And this is also, I think I've read, this is some sort of a multiverse tie-in.
Yeah.
Somehow. Okay.
Yeah, the Doctor Strange movie that was supposed to come out either next
Couple
year or
years,
the year after. This is supposed to open up kind of a multiverse thing. It's supposed to have Kat Dennings, who was in the Thor movies. She was,
Yes.
I think it was Marcy.
Two broke girls.
Two
or
broke
whatever?
girls, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
She was Marcy in the first couple of Thor movies. And it also looks like it's going to have the woman who played Monica Rambeau in the Captain Marvel movie
Okay.
in there as well. So it's a very interesting trailer. And
Which one's Monica Rambeau?
she was her the black girl that was her friend
Oh,
when
okay.
she was in the Air Force.
Okay. Oh, okay.
But the trailer itself, let's see. While it debuted during Sunday's Primetime Emmy Awards and gathered 53 million viewers online over 24 hours, according to a report on Deadline.
Interesting.
Yeah, so it says it smashed Avengers Infinity War's 30.9 million views that it got during the Super Bowl, and Stranger Things 28.2 million views that it also got during a Super Bowl. So lots of people saw that trailer. I think it was real late Sunday night. Because it was during the Emmys, which actually, Al, off the air here, you were just telling me about it was a Netflix show that won an Emmy, and like 24 hours later, they're like, yeah, we're not making any more of those.
Yeah.
We got an award for it, but we're not making any more of
I
those.
don't even know what it, remember
The
what
Dark
it was
Crystal.
called.
Was it
Dark
the
Crystal.
Dark Crystal?
It was like a kid's
Yeah, they
show,
remade
right?
it or they
Yeah, it was a continuation of the old Disney movie that was
Yeah.
all puppets, The Dark Crystal.
I mean,
Yeah.
that just goes to show, like, the companies that own these streaming services, they don't care how much award-winning content that they can get.
Right.
Yeah.
They just want stuff that brings in streamers, that
How
brings in
much-
people to watch.
How much money did it bring in? That's
Yeah, right, exactly. And they're like, we gave Dave Chappelle $18 billion, so we need
Yeah, exactly. and who knows? Dark Crystal might get picked up by Disney Plus now. You
Yeah.
know, it's- it
yeah,
was a
I
Jim
didn't think about
Henson's
that.
thing.
That's true.
Disney Plus might be like, what, Netflix? You don't want it? Well, fine. We'll put it on Disney Plus.
Right.
That's a good
You
point.
know?
It's so funny how it's changed, though, that you can have a show that wins an award, like one of the big awards, too.
Yeah.
And then they're like, and even Netflix is like, we're so excited that our show won an award. Gone.
Yep.
You know, but it's like,
You would think, especially after winning the award on Sunday, that maybe they would have like, all right, let's put the brakes on whether or not we're going to get rid
Yeah,
of
let's
this.
revisit it, you know?
Yeah.
Let's bring it up in the next shareholders meeting.
Let's
or whatever.
let's think about this for a second. Can we allot a little bit of money to maybe doing this again?
yeah. But like most of those like hugely iconic shows, like from years back, usually started with poor ratings, things like Cheers or
Oh,
whatever.
sure.
They're very rarely hits out of the gate. You know, it's like, and like those are the shows, like the hits out of the gate shows are the ones that become popular now.
Yeah.
Like immediately people were into Lost. Immediately people were into Walking Dead or whatever. But like my beloved MASH, dude, like MASH was a failure at
Star
first.
Trek.
Wow.
Star Trek.
Wow.
Think about Star Trek, the entire original series was a failure.
Yep.
Like it never really caught on, and then they got rid of it. And it became popular in syndication years later, but like MASH was not doing any numbers. A lot of the people at the network didn't believe in it, and it was like a top executive's wife loved the show.
Yeah.
And they kept it around.
I saw a similar story, and I
Yeah.
don't know how true it is, but the guy who owns Costco, you know, when you go to Costco, they've got like the little the bar where you can get a pizza or you can get
Where you
$1.50.
can get like the most delicious slice of pizza you've ever had in your life.
Really?
For $2 and it's huge.
Yeah,
Really?
but they've got the $1.50 hot dog there.
Yeah.
And there's apparently a story that somebody, like one of the CEOs or one of the business people, were like, "We are losing our ass on these hot dogs," and he was in a meeting with the owner, and the owner literally told him, it was like, "Figure it out. If you change the price of the hot dog, I will effing kill you."
This man loves a hot cheap wiener.
He loves a $1.50 wiener.
And he wants it available for any mouths to put their lips around him.
That's right.
Hot cheap.
It took me a while to
wieners.
find a way to make that sexual. But
That's
you
what
know
you
what
do.
else?
Hot cheap wiener wasn't sexual enough.
No, I needed to wrap your lips around it. You know, you got to wrap your lips around that hot cheap wiener, Al. That's when it
You had
gets
to go.
sexual.
You had to go deeper with that wiener.
Yeah,
Yep.
much deeper. And we'll go even deeper. Another thing that Costco takes a loss on every time they sell, rotisserie chickens.
Really?
They put those items in there to get people into the store to spend their money on, you
On
know,
the other stuff.
4,000 boxes of ramen, you know,
Right.
and then you buy your $1.50 hot cheap wiener and your rotisserie chicken.
Yeah.
On this episode of Shopping with Nerds,
Yeah.
While we're talking about Star Trek, though, Al, I was just mentioning to you that they're changing CBS All Access to the Paramount Network.
right?
Have you read any about this at all?
I haven't really looked into it, but I really think it's just a like a name change. And I
Yeah.
think it also, if you think about it, kind of broadens the scope a little bit of it, rather than just
Sure.
like, I don't know. CBS kind of has that
That old person
the old
stigma.
person
Yeah.
sort of stigma. Exactly. Like, it's so funny because they always boast the most watched network, but
Right.
you know,
By
if-
senior citizens and grandmas and grandpas across
exactly.
the world.
Well, they're the only people still watching network TV, and me. So I think the Paramount thing, and they already, like, I can't remember the last time, like, I actually opened up the app to watch Lower Decks or whatever. Some of the like the headers up there, like it looks a little bit more like Disney Plus does now, where it's got Disney, Marvel, Star Wars,
Yeah.
and National Geographic. It looks a little bit more like that, where it's broken down into like, here's some stuff that may interest you on CBS All Access.
Right. And from the sounds of it, much like the HBO app, they're going to kind of infuse it with Comedy Central and maybe MTV and all the stuff that Viacom owns.
Yes, Comedy Central was the one that really stood out to me the last time I went on there. I couldn't remember what it was. I was going to pull up the app, but you beat me to it. But so I think they're just sort of broadening it a little bit, and I think people are more likely to subscribe to a Paramount service rather than a CBS service.
Right.
You know what I mean? So really, it's just like it's just a name change. It's still the same thing,
right,
you know.
Rebranding it a little bit to appeal to a younger, more like wider audience.
Yeah.
So for sure. Interesting though that they see once again that HBO Max has all these buttons for, like, you know, Adult Swim and the Ghibli stuff and whatever. Which, speaking of, I clicked on the HBO Max, the Adult Swim button, and I was like, oh, Aqua Teen Hunger Force. I haven't watched that in forever. There are 10 seasons of Aqua Teen Hunger Force. There are probably like 50 episodes there I have never seen.
I'm trying to think how many I have on DVD, because I thought
I had to look. I have 7 box sets on DVD.
Okay, so I probably have 7 as well.
That equates to about 5 seasons of Aqua Teen on the
movie.
HBO Max.
Oh,
nice.
So there's
who's got an HBO Max password?
There's a bunch of HBO. There's a bunch of Aqua Teen.
I gotta go see Carl. I gotta see what Carl and Frylock are up to.
I've got it through. Remember we were talking when it first launched about the, you know, like having it on cable or whatever?
Yeah.
Here's the interesting thing. I have HBO Max because I get my, like, you get your TV through Sling, James. I get mine through Hulu. Mm-hmm. And Hulu, it's weird. Like, I think it's cool that on Hulu you can get movie channels. Whether you have the live TV or not, you can get, you know, Showtime on demand or Cinemax on demand, and they got HBO as well.
They can essentially be your cable provider.
Right. Yeah. But they flipped it, so you don't basically get HBO Go anymore. Like, if you get HBO through Hulu, you get HBO Max.
Ah, okay.
So I can watch live HBO channels on my live TV subscription, but also I have a subscription to Max.
Okay.
So that's like the way Hulu does it. So if you have a cable company, you maybe don't have Max anymore, but that's how Hulu. I thought that was kind of cool.
Yeah, that is cool.
Because either way, it's the same price. Whether it's $15 to subscribe to the channel, or it's $15 to get HBO Max.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Well, we've got plenty to watch, so I think I'm going to end this week's Nerd Radio so I can go home and check out my streaming services, because I'm actually in the middle of a show that I want to talk about when I see the whole thing next week.
Hack Al's HBO Max account.
Right, so you can watch some Aqua Teen.
Yeah.
So thank you guys, as always, for joining us in the chat on Wednesday mornings on Checkpoint XP, and thank you for downloading and subscribing, liking, and reviewing us on online, whether you're getting us on Google Podcasts or Apple Podcasts or wherever you're getting us.
The Beepod Studios.
Yep, absolutely. We'll be back next week for some more Nerd Radio. Until then, find us on social media at Nerd Radio 101.